Hello, hello, hello. It's your man Rico. Rico the Opinionist, Opinionist. Damn, spider webs and shit coming through. On this beautiful day. Welcome back, sunshine. Welcome back, sunshine. God, dog. Y'all don't understand how this sun really feeds my Aquarius. Shout out to all the Aquariuses out there. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Whew. But I just had to jump on real quick before my next client comes on. Before I see my next client. I just want to say this really quickly. And by the way, share this live. If you live in the state of Tennessee, if you live in my hometown, my beloved Memphis, Tennessee, shout out to North Memphis, you dig? Hollywood, Springdale, you know what I'm saying? Goodwill Village, Chelsea. What else? What's that? The Jackson over there by the Kentucky Fried Chicken. Yeah. But look, I just saw something that was so disturbing, but I'm always trying to tell y'all, look, black voters, dear black voters, I keep saying this, listen to what these Democrats are saying to you, what they say to you all the time. You're not paying attention. Especially these black Democrats or these Democrats of color or people of color. Pay attention. See, while they tell you Trump is evil, the Republicans are evil, listen to who they're actually advocating for. And I'll say it again. Black Democrats are not black people, they're just Democrats. And all they care about is the Democrat agenda, which is illegal immigrants, homosexuals, women, and trans. That's their agenda. They go under the guise of benign neglect. Shout out to Dr. Claude Anderson. If you don't know what benign neglect is, there's something that all politicians follow, or there's the rules that they have when it relates to black people, black voters, foundational black Americans, and which says you don't ever say anything for or do anything on behalf of black people. Kamala Harris told y'all that. She said it out of her mouth. I'm not going to do anything specifically that benefits black people now. Y'all still voted for. Joe Biden said, well, you're going to have to go and talk to the Hispanics. They're the ones who outnumber you, that we told Roland Martin and all the other Democratic shields in that meeting that happened right after the election in 2020. But y'all gonna look at me like I'm the villain. So I'm gonna tell y'all something else. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all something else. Y'all gonna be mad at me because it's easy. Because I'm nobody. I'm just a regular dude with an opinion, with a Facebook page, a YouTube channel. By the way, go over there to my YouTube channel. So y'all been listening to Jasmine Crockett. Y'all been listening to Cory Booker. They're always talking about, ranting and raving how evil the Republicans are. And they could not be lying about that. Because there's some sons of bitches on the Republican side. They are. They do some wild stuff. And Trump is evil. Trump. Okay, we already know that. But those of you who want to believe that, we know this. It could be not. But it's interesting how they don't see anything what's going on in the Democratic Party that's racist. That's why I don't take them seriously. But here's the deal. The latest event. You heard Jasmine Crockett. She around here talking all her black stuff while she cussing. But first thing she says is what? People of color, marginalized group, trans. So in my hometown, I'm always talking about, my hometown and any major black city, I'm always telling y'all, pay attention to these black Democrats and these black folks who say, I hate Trump, I hate the Republicans, but they live in these white suburbs. They send their kids to these white and Republican-led school districts. Then they bring their black ass back to the ghetto and tell them to vote for the very Democrats to keep their ghetto the ghetto. This word gonna get out. Y'all gonna start paying attention. Don't believe me. Pay attention. Go to the districts. You have these black folks that hate Trump, hate the Democratic Party, and you have every right to. But then you move. You get your college degree, you own your business, you do well economically, you move straight to those very suburbs, white suburbs, where your kid's the only black kid in the classroom. Your daughter, the only black girl and probably in the school or in the class. Your son. Then you send them off to the PWIs, but you hate Republicans. And you spend all your money and your time and your work in those very Republican districts. Now, let me say this. Real reason why I got on today. And this goes back to my home state of Tennessee. I'll say anybody, go back to Memphis. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So we got this state senator, among many. We got two of them that do this. You got Justin Pearson. He's the state representative. He does this exact thing. I tell you, it's all of them. Then you have now this new, she's not new, but no one's ever called her out because you don't know what to call these people out for. But if you keep listening to me, I'm telling you what to call them out for. This one is State Senator London Lamar. You know, we don't know which way she goes, but all of a sudden, like the brat and all them, a baby appears. And she volunteered and made herself a single mother, allegedly, reportedly. It might be a husband. I haven't seen a wedding or wedding pictures. It might be a man somewhere. I haven't seen a picture or wedding photos or anything. So far as I know, she volunteered to become a single mother. Then I heard her talking about, you know, it's hard for us mothers. But hell, you was a single woman for years, London Lamar. But then you volunteered to make yourself a single mother to make what point? So anyway, when she was first elected about 6-7 years ago, in that district that's majority black, I think District 33, Tennessee Senate District 33. First thing she talked about, we need to make things for our women to become mothers, and women. She never talked about men. She never talked about family. Listen to the Democrats. They never talk about families where heterosexual masculine men are involved. They never do it. All they talk about is trans, gays, women, single mothers, and children, and illegal immigrants. And she did a whole speech today talking about she was in tears about what's going on. Let me tell y'all how the setup is. And y'all gonna start paying attention. I mean, start paying attention. At first, I was like, okay, here's another one of these Negro Democrats talking shit. But no, I said, no, because I've been paying attention to this lady for the longest. And everything she writes about is something that has something to do with women only. But I know that women weren't the only people that voted for her. And this is where you black men need to start paying attention to who has your best interests at heart. The mass majority of women Democrats do not have your best interest at heart. They just need your vote to push their LGBT, trans, single mother, single women agendas. But y'all gonna learn. So, she's on that speech and, well, you know, in my district, she started off with the same old bullshit. Gun violence. It just recently took the lives of 6 people, 1 died. And then she went over to this thing that just happened in Memphis, some apartments there. A 5-year-old little boy, unfortunately, was found in a body of water in some apartments. A little autistic boy was found in the water, and I'm weeping, and I'm sad for those families. He got her tissue out and patted her dry face. I weep for you. And I said, here it come. And like clockwork. Now, mention what I just said now. She had the setup. That's the Trojan horse. It takes Professor Blacktruth to tell y'all this. Black people are used as the Trojan horse to get everyone else's agenda advocated for. And I saw this what she was talking about, right? She said, and you know, we got these, again, Republicans, they're passing laws that just really, you know, they're already going against, they're trying to hurt the very grown-ups who are trying to make life better for their children and do things better for their children so their children can have a better life. And they just passed a law that attacking immigrant children in education. Stop right there. I said, I knew it. Because when she got through using the death and the pain of black people, which she don't give a shit about, and I'll debate her in her face and tell her, you don't, bitch. I'm sorry. I ain't gonna call you no bitch. But you don't. Because if you did, it would have been all about that. But so she brought up, I felt so just helpless because they were passing laws that say if you are illegal, you're finna come get you out these schools too. What part of that don't you people understand? Illegal. Why don't y'all understand it? And it's black folks. They don't fight this hard for black kids. They do not. They don't stand up crying nowhere. They don't stand up just, we need funding for our black kids. They don't. Because there's no money in standing up for black kids unless you're exploiting them. And that's what Democrat blacks do. That's what the Democratic Party has always done. Exploited black people and the black vote. Siphon all their resources for themselves. That's the Democratic Party. Now, she went on with that. And guess what else she threw in there? DEI. I'll say it again. Black people's pain, black people's suffering is only used as a Trojan horse. And when they get in there, they open up that side door and their actual issues come out. You know, have you ever read the story of the Trojan horse? If you don't know what that is, they come in pretending to be one way, but as soon as they get inside, they open up that side door and boom, the real issues pop out. And so Democrats always use black people as a shield. Shout out to Professor Black Truth. Use a shield to try to get other people to advocate for other people's stuff. But they don't advocate for black people. And so she did this morning at that little press conference in Nashville. She used black people's pain, the death of that little black boy, the murder, the death of those black people that was killed, those 6 black people, so she can segue into those laws that were passed by the Republican Party in the State House. But y'all not gonna pay attention to me. Isn't it interesting that stuff has been going on in that district forever, but they only seem to get a press conference when they want to advocate for other people. And y'all need to quit voting for these folks. So Rico, what you want to do, vote Republican? I want you to vote more intelligently. Listen to what these Democrats are saying, because so many of us have been convinced that because you black, because I'm black, I'm supposed to vote Democrat. It is. I mean, we all told that. Hell, if you didn't learn that by this last election, and it happened in 24, November 5th, everybody who didn't vote for Kamala Harris or didn't vote for a Democrat, you were vilified, demonized, cast aside, discarded, and even told by Ricky Smiley and these other folks, black folks with platforms, huge platforms on podcasts and on national radio. D.L. Hughley, all of them, they told you if they voted for Trump or they didn't vote for Kamala Harris, don't you spend Thanksgiving with your black family members. Don't you spend Christmas with your black family members. That's what they said. And you want to debate it somewhere else, because we all heard it. And no other group did that to their own family. Because you didn't vote a Democratic candidate, you're supposed to separate from your black family, your brother, your sister, your son, your husband, your nephew. Y'all see how sick this is? Yeah, I saw London tomorrow do that foolishness. I said, look at her. And I just waited, and bam, it happened. She wasn't advocating she didn't give a shit about them black folks dying. She don't give a shit about that little black boy being found dead. All she was trying to do was use black people, our pain, our suffering, like Democrats do, as a Trojan horse to get in there to advocate for other people, because that is the agenda of the Democratic Party. If y'all didn't pay attention during the whole campaign, well, that's on y'all ass. They let 18 million motherfuckers in here. They all went to the black neighborhoods and took up all the resources given to them by majority, by those Democratic mayors. So anyway, I just wanted to just do this video real quick and just keep informing my people. You can vote for how you want to, but we need to stop this just because I'm black, I'm voting Democrat bullshit. And then you go to your neighborhood with all this Democratic representation and your neighborhood is still a shithole. While their children don't live in no shitholes. Their children go to good schools, live in nice neighborhoods, but they on TV, black, 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 black. But then when you ain't paying attention, illegal immigrants, trans, gays, people of color, women. Oh yeah, down with the patriarchy, down with the patriarchy. Y'all know Democrats can't stand men. They can't stand masculine heterosexual men. They can't stand men being the head of households. Say what you want to say about the conservative party. They believe in men being in charge, and the conservative women believe in seeking cover under their men. But the Democratic Party doesn't push that. They push women, y'all can do what y'all want to do. Y'all be out there all alone. Y'all can do what y'all women, y'all strong. And then when the world starts putting a foot up their ass, Black women are the most unprotected. They're the most disrespected. Told you can't take none of this shit seriously because God has already set nature up. But anyway, I digress. Y'all enjoy the rest of your evening because I got to get ready. Let me see what time it is. Oh crap, I got to get ready for my client. Y'all enjoy your day. I'll talk to y'all in the future. Peace. Hold on. Let me take my shades. Oh, there it is. Peace, y'all.